All right, hello and welcome to Odd Sock Comics. Today is just in between video. Something really cool happened this weekend, and it got me thinking about independent comic books and how they're different from books by Marvel, DC, and even Image. And a big part of that is how the comic book artists feel about their comic books and how they take care to kind of control these creations. And I'll show you a couple of the things that make me think that. But up here right now, I have 4 books by Timothy Lim. And I think that most of these have a collaboration with Mark Pellegrini and Brett Smith. So this is just a great, fun, creative team. My Hero Macadamia and Trump Space Force are obviously Trump related, but Black Ops is just a fun military based on a rabbit. It's just a lot of fun. And these books have been great. But I got Trump Space Force, and just on Twitter, I was just mentioning to somebody that got it, how this book, Trump Space Force, I read it with my son, who's right here with me, and we enjoyed it. We were laughing. Is that right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to say it out loud so people can hear it. Yes. What was your favorite part?
Probably when Trump started firing his gun and it said MAGA.
Yeah, when the gun fires, it says MAGA, MAGA, MAGA. That made me laugh too. But and then a couple days later, so first thing he noticed was that Chuck Dixon was the writer, and he'd been reading a couple of other Chuck Dixon books, and he recognized that immediately. And then he's been coming to me ever since. Dad, do you have any more Chuck Dixon books to read? So he recognized he's got his favorite writer. I think you like the art. You like Timothy Lim's art?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that this thing that happened because of that little Twitter message that I sent out, I think this has really sealed the deal. So on Thursday, we got this very special book. I'm going to pull these out. We got a very special book. This right here, and I've got a piece of tape covering my son's name. But this is something that, because of that little comment that I made about how much we liked Trump Space Force, Timothy Lim said, send me a message and we'll send you My Hero Macadamia. And I was like, well, that's great, but I already have My Hero Macadamia. He's like, have you got Black Ops? It's like, yep, 1 and 2, signed and everything. Yeah, all of these, well, not all of these books are signed, but Trump Space Force is obviously signed. Black Ops 2 wasn't out when I met Tim, so this one's not signed. But Black Ops 1, I got signed at a con, and My Hero Macadamia is signed down here. So we've got the signatures, and this team is just awesome. But so I was like, yeah, I'm a fan. I've got all of your books, or I've got those books. And he's like, I got just the thing. And so he sent this. This is just awesome. It's just a head sketch on the back of a cover that I think that's a Tim Lim cover that he did of the IDW Spider-Man that just came out. But honestly, I don't know exactly what the cover is. I couldn't find the front cover. This is the back cover. But I mean, this is just one of those things that we've got hanging out on my son's wall. That's, oh man, I love creative teams like this. I love people who engage with fans. Obviously, not everybody. You can't do that with every single fan. But I mean, this has really made my son's day. It makes me feel great about supporting them and everything that they do. I mean, this is really where independents stand out. They care about the books that they're making. They care about their customers. I feel like they're a lot less likely to turn down customers because of conflicting beliefs. It's like, hey, you like my book? Awesome. They don't have to go beyond there because their communication is directly with the customer. There's nobody buffering in between them, and they're not selling based off of another name. So it's all based on their work. So shout out to Timothy Lim and the rest of the creative team behind those books. This is fantastic. I think that my son is going to be a comic book reader for life. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's building up his collection, and I'm just super excited about this. But I did want to dig in a little bit about some of the other books that I've gotten that are independents. So I'm going to show these. Here, I'll put this one up first. This is a smaller kind of ash can size book, and you can see how cool that black cover is. So this is an Indiegogo book by the artist Elliot Fernandez, and it's called Black and Red, and it's just art. It's just an art style that he's been doing. So Elliot Fernandez, I think this was on Twitter as well. I just saw somebody post a couple of his original art, just pictures that he got. He got a couple of the original pieces behind this book, and I saw them and I was like, that style is so cool. And so I ordered this book. It was I think it was $10 for the book, and I'm going to show some pages here just to show this is the coolest. But so he just does all of these shots one by one, all in red, black, and white. And I mean, this art is just cool. I don't quite know what to do with it. It's just a fantastic piece of art, and it just has that style that, like, I want to cut the pages out and frame them and use them as a motif and decorate something with them because they're such cool characters. It's such cool art. But I feel like that's a little sacrilegious. You can't be cutting up a comic book. This isn't quite a comic book, it's an art book. So maybe that's acceptable. But I mean, it's signed, which is really cool. And the art is really cool. I can pull it out and look at it. But I want this on my walls. I've looked at some of his original stuff. He's still doing the same style. I think I'll link to his YouTube channel in the description here. You can go check out his YouTube channel. But I think he seems like he sells his originals for about $85 a piece. Maybe I'll just buy a few of those over time and build up something cool. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is some cool art. I like this book. All right. So next up, I already did a more detailed review of this book, but I still want to stick it up here because it goes along with these independent guys that just are trying to make good books that they like. Now, I said this is by Diversity in Comics, Richard C. Meyer. And like I said, I think this book was probably worth it. I think I paid $25 plus shipping, maybe. Which, when you're talking about the price of comic books today, is 5 to 6 comic books. It's not really that much, and this is a thick book. And I've said, it is black and white. It's not colored, but that goes with the style, and it's got a kind of a gritty style that goes along with it. And the story, while it's not perfect, it's good and it's fun. And if that's your thing, the book does it well. But I've talked about this before. It's not perfect, but it's good. Probably worth the price of admission. We'll just go with that. Okay, now so the last Indiegogo book that I'm going to show is Trump Space Force. And I just want to show a couple of pages from inside that book. And the reason that I'm kind of being careful with this one because I actually, I've got this signed book. I like this book a lot. So this one is going in the safe and secure. So I'm going to see if I can find a MAGA. Yeah. So Trump Space Force was just so much fun. And there's the guns, MAGA. That was the part that my son liked the most. But I mean, this book is just filled with fun, humor. The art's fun. This is Timothy Lim. It's got a little bit of a distinct style. Just a ton of fun. The whole story's fun. Love this book. Okay, so the next book, I got to explain myself a little bit because I bought this book purely to kind of to rip on it. I have no intention of it's not because I wanted it or anything, but I was curious what they were doing. So this book right here, I'm going to hold it up here. That's going to make it ban the video or get it censored up front. So this book is Rebel Yell. And this is, I don't even know the details of this. I don't even remember how I came across it. But this one is more like the actual alt-right trying to make comic books. And the reason that I'm bringing this one up is just to show you a difference between comic book writers who have the wrong politics, and so they're kind of going independent, or even if they don't even have to have the wrong politics, they just don't like the kind of over-aggressive standardized politics of some of the mainstream stuff. But then there's the actual weirdos way out there, and I just wanted to show the garbage that they're making. Now, I don't apologize to the creators very much. I think they know their limitations, but they're still putting it out, and I don't understand that. So, like, I would be embarrassed to put out a book that was this bad. First of all, this book does not know that it's a comic book. Let me see. I'll grab a comic book here. And we've got the standard size comic book, and including the back is quite a bit smaller, both height and width of this comic book. So it doesn't know that it's a comic book. It's too big. It's not the right size. They don't know what they're doing. They're not getting comic book printers. They're just printing a skinny, crappy book. Second, you can see the art. I mean, this is the cover art. Check out those eyes. Where are those eyes? How is that? How does that go with face anatomy? Not particularly great. And then the story made no sense. The art inside is exactly the same as the art outside, obviously. And it's just not good. The whole thing is just... it's kind of a shame. It's not a shame that it's not good, but it's like... It's a shame that people spent money on this. It's a shame that I spent money on this, even if I'm doing it more ironically than ever, because it might give them the feeling that what they're doing is legitimate, and it's just not. If you're a comic book artist and you want to tell a compelling story that's not politically correct, cool. But don't try to engage in the comic book sphere just because you think that's someplace that you can get your message out. That doesn't make sense. This book is terrible. There's no story behind it. It's not even like this is supposed to be the Southern hero or whatever. There's nothing about it that's necessarily Southern, except for he's a little overly macho for no reason. That's about all you get from it. So, going to finish off with that one. That one is, I'm still keeping it just because it's more funny than anything. But that's it for the Indiegogo campaigns that I've had so far. I've got several that are on their way, and as they come in, I'll continue to review them, talk about them in a little bit more detail. This one was fast because I was trying to get kind of caught up. So the last thing that I'm putting up is my contest giveaway, just as a reminder. The first link that I'm going to put down in the description is a link to the video that explains how to enter the contest and how the contest is going on. It's not a contest, it's a giveaway. All you have to do is go to that video, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and when I get to 10 valid entries, I'm going to just draw one randomly using some good computer methods to get a random entry. And I'm going to get you to get me some information, and I'll send this comic book out to you. This is the Adam Hughes Power Girl #1. I think it's not a particularly easy book to find. You can look up the value of it. It's not a cheap book. It's a nice one. So I'm just not collecting Adam Hughes, so I'm more than happy to give it away. I can help somebody else out with their collection or get them started on something. I'm more than happy to do that. So thanks for watching here. Let me know what you think. If there are any independents that you think I should grab that really stand out, or if you have any stories about some of these independent artists that go above and beyond, I would love to hear those. That's really what's connecting me to the industry, probably more than anything else. Special shout out to Tim Lim for making a lifetime comic book reader of my son, and thanks for watching.